snot. Anyway, it was interesting to hear what Pete Townsend had to say about young groups, because when we were down in the big city, who should we meet but Newcastle band The Young Bucks. They moved south last year to find fame, fortune and groupies, and live to tell the tale. Let us now see the unacceptable pace of popular music.
London's the centre of the music business. Always has been, probably always will be. The band decided to wave goodbye to Newcastle about 8 months ago in order to get the sort of exposure to the press and to the music business that London gigs offer. We didn't expect pavements paved with gold, and we certainly didn't find any. There were very few gigs at first, and consequently not much money. Some of us made extra money busking for a few weeks. It was summer, and there was good money from tourists in the subways. They liked to give the money away, and we were only too happy to take it. There's some pretty affluent types around. But after a while, things came together. The gigs started coming in on the London pub circuit. It's a mutually advantageous arrangement for both landlords and for bands. The bands get the exposure, and the landlords take more money behind the bar. There are hundreds of bands clamouring for gigs in the London pubs. Consequently, the landlord can pay bands around £25. With the cost of PA hire, petrol and so on, it costs us around £50 to stage a gig. But it's worth the money in order to put on a good show, on the off chance that a journalist or someone from a record company should be in the audience.
The sound is always very expensive if you haven't got the right kind of sound systems. Again, that's where management companies like ourselves come in, and we spend as much money as we possibly can. It's realistic.
Recently, we added another sax player, Dave Winthrop. Used to be in Chicken Shack and Supertramp. It gives the band a fuller sound.
Yeah, is it better now turned down?
Thinking about the pub circuit in London, don't you think, you've got so many bands playing around it, don't you think the whole scene makes every band look the same?
Yeah, that's why the Young Bucks are particularly successful, because they're not the same.
But don't they risk ending up looking like so many other bands because they're playing the same circuit?
Well, so the Young Bucks have an identity of their own, and it's coming over very strongly. Hence the huge support the band have in just a few short runs. You've got to do your apprenticeship on the circuits before a management company is even basically going to get interested. It's a chicken and egg situation, okay? But first of all, the Young Bucks did a good, lengthy apprenticeship, and then we took them on.
Coming here tonight, I've seen so many people that have been at all their other gigs, which is really good. It's really good for them, and it's really nice as a member of the audience. Yeah.
And are they all good looking and handsome and butch?
Not as good looking as you, but they'll pass.
What does a pub audience want of your band?
Blood.
They're a very good band. I've seen them before.
Have you written anything about them before?
Yeah, I reviewed them a couple of months ago.
Do you think that review you did of them then did them any good?
I don't know really. I think the music press overvalues itself as far as reviews go.
Let him go. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. But I
When did you first see them?
At the Marquee about a month ago, and I've been to see them about 8 times since then at the Rock Garden.
8 times in a month? How many gigs do you reckon you've seen?
It must be knocking on 40 now.
40?
40, yeah.
What, and like, a lot of them you pay to get in even?
Oh, yeah.
You like them that much?
Oh, it's great. Well, you can have a drink with them before the gig, after the gig. They're more kind of like friends than stars up on the stage. You don't hear their echo when they're at Empire Pour or anything like that. You know, you can touch them afterwards. I don't know, I hope they don't get too big, because that's when I don't like bands, when they get too big. Angstrophobic, it's not for me.
I must decide on what to take or leave behind. I feel a rhythm drug. I wonder why it's holding in. I see you smile at me. I wonder why I never knew. The sun started, here it is.
Finding somewhere to live in London's a real headache. Most of us live south of the river. It's a little cheaper down there. Pat's got a place in Canning Town. Costs him £5 a week. Nice with the gasworks as well. In Newcastle, we used to rehearse in a room at Pat's place. Now we pay about £3 an hour for somewhere to play. You might think it's all a bit squalid, but it's home.
Band's working virtually every night of the week, so you know, we rehearse maybe 3 or 4 times a week. So you know, you come home at night, maybe 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, get to bed, have a kip till about 10 o'clock the next morning, get up, go to rehearsals, go to the gig, and so that's, I'm only here overnight. I mean, it's basically the band had to move down here because, like, although we were working a lot in Newcastle, like half the week we were going out as a band called Sea Cruise, which was doing the clubs, and we were doing pretty well. Our agents told us we could be as big as Goldie, even, but it wasn't really what we wanted to be, So to get to work regularly, consistently, doing our own music and that, we decided to come down to London and do it down here. It was working in Newcastle, we were doing the same old gigs. I mean, it was great. We had a really good time, big crowds.
And we started playing the Cooperage, which, everybody knows we played there for about a year. And that started off with maybe 60, 70 people coming, because we never used to have bands on at the Cooperage, and we suggested it to the landlord that it might be a good idea. And he agreed. He said, we'll give you a chance, and if it makes money, then you can carry on. And at the Cooperage, we saw that it built up and it built up. And it all just multiplies, and before you know where you are, you've got a hell of a lot of people coming watching you. And it was the same in London. 1 minute you felt a bit out of it, and then 2 weeks later you find that you've got a big following, and you start recognising people at every gig. There's a lot of excitement and atmosphere at a pub gig, and on a good night you get a real kick out of it. But as soon as you walk off stage, it's back again to reality. The dressing room might be a little room at the back, or a corridor. More often than not, it's the gents. In 1978, we played about 200 dates, but you still can't get to sleep at night after a gig. It's anything but boring. And as they say, it's better than working.
You're on tomorrow morning, right? Rehearsals, 11 o'clock, everybody up at 10, right? Shut up, the lot of you. I can't get up. That's it, I've seen better, all right?
So, you want to be a rock and roll star? Well, I already am, and as for this man, he's so big in America that people call him Texas. But you'll have to wait to find out whatever happened to Benny Santini.